right? So here's what mine looks like. I will show you what mine looks like. Essentially, here's my binder, right? Very first page is my Q3 table of contents. And the very first thing that's going to be right behind my table of contents, morning, is going to be this paper that we did yesterday. So you're going to start by, hello, my dear, what's your name? Mackenzie. One, two. Oh, look at that. That's actually your seat, Mackenzie. Look how well that worked out. Perfect. Good morning. Quick play. Okay, so you're going to start. Here's what your table of contents is going to look like. First thing, on the very top, you're going to put Q3 table of contents, right? That's your title. Underneath it, we've got essentially there's 4 different columns. First column is the page number. So we are going to list, a number on every paper I give you. So the paper you got from yesterday, we're going to put a 1 in the corner of it. That's our first page in our notebooks. Second column is going to be the name of the assignment. If you want to shorten this because it's a little long, that's fine. But you got your second column is the actual name of the assignment. So 6.1, interior and exterior angles of polygons notes. I literally copied right at the top where it says topic on your paper. I just copied it, okay? So everything should always match. This last column over here is the date that we did it. So we did it on 1/20. We're also going to put /121 because we did it today as well. And then this other column here is kind of up to you if you want to put this in. I have a B/N column, and this stands for binder/notebook. This is a paper that's going to be physically in your binder. A notebook page is something like if I give you a foldable, I ask you to glue it into your notebook, or we physically take notebook notes. That's what that N would be standing for. But I just did it as a way so that you could say, oh, like this is a worksheet that I should be able to find in my binder. Kind of just helps you better categorize your items. So every single time we get a new assignment, we're going to go straight to our table of contents. We're going to update this paper every single time I give you something new, and we will keep ourselves on task and on track. So I'm going to give you a moment to write that down. And then once you've got that written down, you're going to grab out your notes from yesterday. I will also, after this, be better about making sure I have hole punches in your papers for you guys starting tomorrow for the next paper you get. But this last one, there are some hole punchers in the back if you want to grab a hole puncher from the back. But once you're done with that, you're just going to grab out your notes, and we're going to get started on those. You can hold up now. Oh, I think I got the bathroom. I'm sorry. My bad, Celia. Not even listening, apparently. What? Yep. All right. You're welcome. Do another second there to get it written down, and then we will get ourselves a room balloon on our notes from yesterday. All right, So I'm going to get ourselves started on our notes here, and then I'll put this back up at the end of class. We'll have some extra time, but I want to get started so we don't have to do any homework tonight. So if you go back to the front side of your notes from yesterday, there were two really important formulas, and if you get anything out of yesterday, there are three formulas, excuse me, that you must have. And these are the three formulas you must have. So if you weren't here yesterday, these are the three formulas, the most important things that you're going to write down, stuff that's highlighted. Number one, the sum of interior angles formula. So to figure out interior angles, right, on the inside of any polygon, the formula was S equals n minus 2 times 180. Who remembers what the n stands for? Number of sides. Good. So to figure out the total degree measure, right, the sum, the total degrees inside of any polygon, we took the number of sides, we subtracted 2, and then we multiplied times 180 because that told me how many triangles were inside of each polygon. The second really important equation was to figure out each individual interior angle. And to do that, we took the total sum right here. So we took this equation, total sum, and we divided it by the number of sides. That gave me the each individual interior angle. So that works for any polygon that you can think of. And who in here remembers what a polygon is? What is a polygon? Bobo, what's a polygon? Has to have sides, it has to be closed, and what about those sides? What kind of sides do they have to be, Faith? Straight sides, very good. So it can't be like a circle, it can't be squiggly, it has to be straight sides and a closed figure. That's a polygon. Good. So these are my two equations for interior, and then I have one equation for exterior. The exterior equation essentially is exactly the same. You take the total exterior angles and divide it by the number of sides. That will give you each individual exterior angle. Who remembers from yesterday, if you add up the exterior angles, what should you always get? 360, which is what shape? What's 360 make? A circle. Very good. So those three equations, if you have those three, we're golden for the rest of today. The other thing I wanted to show you was, I don't think I showed you guys yesterday, correct me if I'm wrong, the video, well, it's not really a video, it's like a GIF about exterior angles. Did I show you that, the quick little video yesterday? I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't remember what class I showed, but yeah, I couldn't find it. Yeah, that's what it was. And then I found it later. So essentially, here's what it looks like. Ready? Okay. I've got 4 different polygons here, right? I got a triangle, I've got a quadrilateral, I've got a hexagon and a pentagon. Now, if you look at these colors on the outside, I know it's kind of grainy, but the colors on the outside are the exterior angles. If I put all those exterior angles together, what am I supposed to get? 360. I'm supposed to get a circle. So I'd like you to just watch. It's really quick. Ready? No matter what size, what shape. Ready? If it's a polygon, ding, circle every time. No matter what. Isn't that cool? I really don't even know how that works, but I think it's just cool. It's just really cool. So it doesn't matter how big, how small, as long as it's a polygon, it'll be a circle. So this could be done with like a 300-sided figure. Same thing would happen. You bring all the exterior angles together, it should be 360 degrees, a full circle. Okay, so now using that idea, we are going to do some of those practice problems on the back side. I actually think you're going to like the back side more because I think the back side's easier. It's just some algebra. So let's flip it over to the back. We're going to do some practice with algebra. Bobo, can you put your mask on, please? Thank you. All right. So we're starting with number 10. If the exterior angle of a regular polygon measures 9 degrees. How many sides does the polygon have? All right, so stay on that side, but I'm going to flip my paper over. We're going to figure out which equation I should use. So first of all, are we talking about interior or exterior here? Exterior. So knowing that, which equation am I going to use? Am I going to use this one? No. Am I going to use this one? No. Am I going to use this one? Yeah. So I'm going to take 360, right, because it's always 360, divided by the number of sides, and I set that equal to each exterior angle. So I always put 360 at the top if it's exterior. 360, right? That's the total divided by the number of sides. Now, how many sides does the polygon have? That's what we're trying to find out. So what am I going to put there? Good. And I set that equal to each individual angle, which is what? 9 degrees. Good. Now this should look familiar from yesterday. What do? Put it over a 1 to make them both fractions, and then I cross multiply, and then yes, I'm going to end up dividing and solving. So 360 times 1 is, and then 9 times x is 9x. Easy peasy stuff. One step, which is to do what? Divide by 9. And I get x equals 40 what? Good. Good, good, good. You guys are killing it. 40 sides. Perfect. That was it. So as soon as you see that word exterior, you know you are setting up an equation that looks like that one. Okay? Sometimes I'll give you the number of sides and all you have to do is divide. Sometimes I'll give you the angle. You have to solve for the number of sides. But either way, if you make your fraction, it should be pretty simple. All right, number 11. If the interior angle of a regular polygon measures 108 degrees, how many sides does the polygon have? Now, this looks almost the same question. What's different? This one says interior. Now, I'm going to flip over to the back. Look at my equations here. Does it ask me for the sum of my interior angle? Should I use this equation? Well, I can't even use this equation anyway because I would need to know what? What does the n stand for? Number of sides, and I don't know that, so I can't even use that equation. And now I got a kind of like another problem too. What do I need to know to use the next one as well? You also need to know the number of sides. So I kind of have a problem here, don't I? I can't do anything because I don't know the number of sides. So I am going to try to do something else instead. Okay, interior means what? Inside. Okay, so let's pretend I don't know how many sides this one has. I'm just going to draw like a random polygon. That's not how many sides it has. I'm just making one up. I know the interior of one of the measures is 108 degrees. So let's just say this one here is 108 degrees. I could figure out the exterior. How would I figure out the exterior? What would I have to do? Subtract from 180. Why? It's a straight line. Very good. So to figure out this exterior angle right over here, right, this exterior angle, I'm going to do 180 minus 108, and that's going to give me my exterior angle. And then once I know that, guess what? I can use this same equation right here. So to find my exterior angle, I'm going to take 180 minus 108. And that's going to give me my exterior angle. What is 180 minus 108? 72. Good. So now I know my exterior angle is 72 degrees. I can use the same equation I just used in the last problem. So I'm going to take the total measure of the exterior. What's the total of the exterior? Always 360. I'm going to divide that by the number of sides, which is what? I don't know, so I put an x, and I should set that equal to my one exterior angle, which is 72. And now it's set up exactly the same as the last problem. So what should I do? Put it over F1, and then I cross multiply. Easy peasy stuff. So 360 times 1, let me give you a little hint. That's never changing. 360 equals 72 times x, which is good. And then last step, divide by 72. So I get x equals 5 sides. Beautiful. Yeah, so be careful if you're labeling it as sides or if you're labeling it as angles. All right. Good. Questions on those two? So it's funny because as we start to do the algebra problems, I think you're going to go, wait, those were the hardest ones. The algebra one's pretty simple. All right, so now let's get ourselves down to business on straight up algebra problems. Number 12, find the value of x. Now, first of all, are these interior, exterior angles? Interior. Now, first thing I want to do is, I'm going to put INT for interior. First thing I want to do is I want to say, okay, if I add up all of the interior angles, I'm supposed to get one number, right? But I don't know what that number is. How do I figure that out? Well, yes, but then I don't know what to set it equal to. I want to know the total value of the interior angles. First of all, how many sides does this have? 4 sides. So this is a quadrilateral. Okay, let's go back to the front for a sec. To figure out the total, so sum is total. To figure out the total interior angles, what do I have to do? What does this mean? What is this crazy equation? What do I do? Subtract 2 from the number of sides and then multiply times 180. We're going to do that every time we have interior angles. So in total, I have 4 sides. So I'm going to take 4 minus 2, which gives me 2. And then I'm going to multiply that times 180. What is 2 times 180? 360. So in total, if I add up all 4 of these angles, I should get 360 degrees. So I'm going to write it like an algebra problem. Super easy. I'm just going to add everything together and set it equal to 360. So I'm going to add 79 plus 55 plus 110 plus x, and I set it equal to the whole total, which is 360. Okay, now it's just algebra. What should I do? Yeah, combine some like terms. So I essentially just want to put together all the numbers. So 79, 55, and 110. $244. Okay, added all the numbers together. Super simple. What's my last step? To get x by itself. Yeah, exactly. Minus the 244, move it over to the other side. And I'll get my x value. I get x equals 116. 116? What? Nope. Degrees. We're talking about an angle, right? So my answer is 116 degrees. Oh my gosh, that was it. So the hardest part here is just making sure you know how many degrees does it have in total on the inside. That's the hardest part, right? Knowing what to set it equal to. Okay, Number 13, guess what? Is exactly the same. The only thing that's different is how many sides this picture has. So first of all, look at it, count it. How many sides does this polygon have? What? 7? 7, yeah. As a little hint to you as you're like working on problems like this, especially so you don't want to count the same one, I always like to put like a little dash on it. I just count so I know where I started, or I'll do like a 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and you just count that way so I know that I'm not doing the same one more than once. Okay, something to think about. All right, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So how do I figure out the total amount? What's the root? Figure out the total amount. Total amount. Subtract 2 from the sides and then multiply times 180. So I'm going to do 7 minus 2 times 180. So that's 5 times 180, which is 900. Yeah? 900. Okay, so in total, the whole thing should add up to be 900. So what am I going to do? What do I have to do? Add them all up and set them equal to 900. Now, be very careful. When you add up all these angles, you better have a calculator. What is this box right here? 9 degrees. You better not forget that. All right. So you take a second, just add together all the numbers. I'm not going to write it all out. Just add together all of the numbers and tell me what you get. Use a calculator. There's calculators in the back if you need one. There's going to be a lot of big numbers, so you might as well grab one now. You want to do it? 806. Okay, so all those numbers added together is 806 plus x, right? Because I still figure out what x is, and then what do I set it equal to? 900. All right, so this is super simple. I only have one step to do. What is it? Yep. Subtract 806 from both sides to get x by itself. So I get x equals 94 degrees. And that's it. So, like I said, the hardest part here is just making sure that you set it equal to the right number. Once you have it set it equal to the right number, it's just algebra, right? That's all it is a whole bunch of algebra. Questions up to there so far? Okay, now, number 14, don't let it freak you out. It's exactly the same thing we just did, except instead of just straight numbers, I threw in a couple variables. Yes. Yes, I can. All right, so if you take a look at number 14, how many sides does it have? 6 sides. Okay, so to figure out the total value, I'm going to do what? Total interior, what do I have to do? 6 minus 2 times 180, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. So 6 minus 2 times 180. So 4 times 180 gives me 720. So in total, I should have 720 degrees in total. Now, I know from the last problem, I'm adding everything together, right? The sum. So I have to add this, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this. And I set it equal to what number? 720. So you've got some choices here. If you want to write the whole thing out as a very, very, very long algebra problem, you can do that. I don't really want to do that because it's a lot of writing. So I'm going to make it a little simpler for myself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine like terms inside of this picture. And I'm going to do that by highlighting or circling all of my variables to start. So let's go around. Let's circle all of your variables. What variables do you see in that first problem there? 8x is a variable. What else? 5x, 7x, and 6x. Okay, so literally we're just going to add those together. Add them. So 8 plus 5 plus 7 plus 6. What does that give me? 26 x's. Boom. You already combined some like terms. I just added them together. Okay, you added all your x's. Now what do you have to put together? All of the numbers. Yeah, all of the constants. So when you do this, you're going to be very careful because some of them have negative signs. So let's do all the positive ones first. You're going to do, in your calculator, 110 plus 36 plus 116 plus 19. All those are positives. And then you're going to subtract 1, 2. Looks like you're going to subtract 3. -1 and a -2 gives you -3. You put all those numbers together. What do you get? I don't know. Someone's got to tell me. -3. What'd you guys get? I got 278. What'd you get? 278? Do you want me to write this out? Sorry, I should make it a little bigger. Okay, so all my x's together is 26x. All of my numbers together is a positive 278, and I set that equal to the total, which is what? 720. Okay, now it's an algebra problem. What should I do first? Subtract 278. I get 26x equals 442. And then what? Divide by 26. I get x equals 17. 17 what? Degrees, because we're talking about an angle. Okay, so all we did was add all of the angles together and set them equal to the total amount, which was 720. So if you don't like me doing it this way, I can write the whole thing out because you guys are kind of giving me some like faces. So if you want, I'll write the whole thing out for the next one. Write the full algebra problem. But all we did was we added like terms, we combined them together, and then we set it equal to the total amount. All right, let's try 15. It's exactly the same thing. Nothing's changed. First thing is, how many sides does this have? 4 sides. Okay, so knowing that, how do I figure out the total amount on the inside? We've done the same thing every time, friends. What is it? 4 minus 2 times 180. Good. So that's really 2 times 180, which is 360 degrees. So now, if I add together angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D, I should get what? What do I add it up to? The total amount, which is 360. So if you want to do it this way, where we just highlighted, you can do it that way. Or if you want to write the whole thing out, you can write the whole thing out. It's the exact same thing. I'll write the whole thing out for this one. You don't have to. because it's still the same thing. Oof, equals 360. All right, adding everything together. So even if you didn't write the whole thing out, even if you did it this way, what should be the first thing that I do? Combine like terms. So I'm going to put all of my x's together. Okay. What's 14, 8, 5, and 10x put together? $37? Okay. All right, all my x's together is 37x. Now what? Put all my numbers together. So you've got 13, 18, 7, and negative 11, right? All of my numbers put together. You're going to be really careful, right? Because this one's got a negative sign with it. So all together you get okay, and I set that equal to 360. And now it's just some quick algebra. So what should I do now? Subtract the 27. So I get 37x equals 333. Good. And then divide by 37. I get x equals 9 what? Degrees. Okay, so I just added all of them together and set them equal to the total amount. Now, am I done? Why? It says find the measure of angle B. It doesn't just say find x. So you found x. What do I do with it? Plug it in. I'm going to take that 9. Now be very careful that you plug it into the correct angle. It asks for angle B. So come over to angle B. You're going to substitute it in wherever you see an x. So you're going to do 8 times 9 plus 7. Right, we're substituting in. So that gives me 79. Good. So the measure of angle B is 79 degrees. So make sure you're reading the question, because if you did all that work and you didn't solve for angle B, guess what? It would be marked wrong. You did all that work for nothing. So make sure you read the question. All right. Last two. 16's gonna be quick. All right. What do you notice about 16? It's different than the other ones. Okay, it's got 10 sides. What else do you notice about it? They all have a tick mark on it. What does that mean? Everything's exactly the same. Okay, so there are 10 sides. So let's figure that out first. Okay, 10 sides means in total, how much does it have on the inside? What do I have to do? Bobo, math. What's the rule? What have we been doing every single time? Every single time. What do I have to do? Number of sides minus 2. So 10 minus 2 times 180. Okay, so 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 times 180 is 1440, right? Okay, so in total, I've got 1440 degrees. Now, all of the sides have a tick mark. That means all the sides are the same. What does that mean about all of the angles? They're also the same. So if this one's 10x plus 4, what is this one? What's the next one? Okay, so it's there 10 times. So if it's there 10 times, what can I do? Huh? Well, not to the power of 10. Close. Same as adding 10 times is the same as multiplying by 10. So I'm going to take this number right here, 10x plus 4, put it in parentheses. I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 10. Right, because there's 10 of them. Or I could just add it up 10 times if I wanted to, but it's the same thing as multiplying it times 10. And I would set that equal to the total amount, which is what? 1440. Now it's just some quick algebra. What should I do first? Good. Multiply, distribute that 10. So 10 times 10x is 100x. 10 times 4 is 40. All right. What's my next step to get the x by itself? Subtract the 40. I get 100x equals 1400, and then divide by 100. I get x equals 14 degrees. Fantastic. So that one looked really like kind of scary, I think, but was the easiest one, right? Because everything was exactly the same. Cool, cool, cool. All right, questions there. All right, we are not going to have enough time to do this last one, so you're going to try this last one on your own, and we're going to check it tomorrow. But what do you notice about the last question? They're all exterior. So when you add them all together, what should you set them equal to? 360 degrees. Set them equal to 360 degrees. So I would like you to finish that last problem. We're only have 2 more minutes. So you're not going to have enough time, but maybe you do. Maybe you can do it rapidly. But if not, finish it up. We'll check it tomorrow. And then tomorrow we have a full practice worksheet that looks literally exactly like this one. Okay? So a full practice of algebra problems just like that to kind of get you to do a little bit of practice with it. All right, so try number 17 tonight. And then check tomorrow, and we'll go straight into some practice for tomorrow. You guys did fantastic today. Okay, if you still don't have a binder yet, please get a binder, please. Because tomorrow I'm giving you your second piece of information, your second paper. Should be your second paper in your binder, and I don't want you to start off the quarter as an unorganized mess. So please have that for you yourselves tomorrow. Excuse me. All right, my dears, have a lovely day. I will see you guys tomorrow.